Vroom vroom! Let's go to Vegas and do some racing while we're there at the Pennzoil 400. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. This is our weekly NASCAR show that we do here. We have a chance to win $35,000. We can win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races app, and we can win another $10,000 on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. That's right, this weekend the guys are at Las Vegas Motor Speedway at the Pennzoil 400. Joey Logano is your defending champion. This race is going to be, could be relatively similar to last week. It's at a 1.5 mile intermediate track, which is exactly like Homestead was. So it's similar to Homestead, but there should be less tire wear, at Vegas as opposed to Homestead. So I think, if you're kind of maybe, doing some research maybe on your own, maybe a good track to compare it to. While Homestead is definitely, a comparable track, maybe Kansas is a little bit more closer of a comp due to the tire wear, that doesn't happen at this track as opposed to the tire wear that happens there at Homestead. But either way, should be a really good, fantastic race. I think we were all treated to a good race there last week at Homestead. Lots of drama there. As always, lots of just good, hard-nosed racing. As for this weekend, I think actually, Team Penske and the Fords at Stewart-Haas Racing, I think, I'm expecting a real strong showing from both of those teams, and especially from the Ford cars this weekend. Team Penske's dominated this track. They've won 3 of the last 6 races here at Vegas, so really looking forward to seeing if Team Penske can maybe continue that run going on here this weekend. Let's start off first doing that Jackpot Races. That's where you can win $25,000. That's the one where they give you 6 group of drivers. You got to pick the driver that finished best amongst the group, then you got to give them a winner, and you got to give them a second place finish. So let's do it. All right, for Group 1, I'm going to go ahead and go with Joey Logano here. Look, he's got the second best average finish at 6. He's got 2 wins, 3 top 5s, and 5 top 5s. That's in his last 6 races. His worst finish here in those 6 races is 14th place. His driver rating of 117.2 is second best. It was between him and Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick, I'm expecting another strong performance here from Vegas from him. But Logano, look, he's performed better collectively in the 2 races last year because they raced here twice last year. And then I just like Team Penske here. I think Team Penske is going to be really strong this weekend. So I think that was the deciding factor. So go ahead and give me Joey Logano. For Group 2, I'm going to go ahead and go with Kyle Larson finishing in Group 2. Look, he's the top 10 driver last year in February. He finished 9th and 7th in Stage 1. He finished 8th in Stage 2, or finished 9th overall, 7th in Stage 1, and 8th in Stage 2. So, he was top 10 all year. He didn't run in the September race. He's on a better team this year. He's riding with Team Henrik this year, so that's obviously, just going to improve his chances. He's got an average finish of 6.8 at Vegas with a driver rating of 100. He finished 4th last week on like I said, a similar track. Homestead and Vegas are similar, except for the tire wear maybe being a little bit more at Homestead. It's pretty similar, and he got 4th place finish on that track. It was a tough group, though. It was between Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski. Obviously, I gave Kyle Larson the edge there over Keselowski, but I think that's going to be close. I think Keselowski's going to have a strong weekend himself here at Vegas. All right, so Group 3, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Kurt Busch. He won the fall race last year, put in a real good performance there, winning that race. He's got the best driver rating of 88.4. His average finish isn't as good, but that's kind of skewed by 2 DNFs in 2018 and 2019. So he's good. He's just, had 2 DNFs in those 2 races. At intermediate tracks, he's got the best average finish and the best rating, and he's been driving good. Look, he had a mistake there at the Daytona road course where he spun himself out. He was riding really good last week. He had a loose tire at the beginning of Stage 3 that, set him back. Or, he finishes, he may have won that race last week, but even with that loose tire at the beginning of Stage 3, he still managed to get an 8th place finish. So, yeah, he was really, really fast last week. I expect him to be fast again this week. So, go ahead and give me Kurt Busch in Group 3. For Group 4, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Tyler Reddick, and it was between Tyler Reddick and Cole Custer here, and obviously I picked Tyler Reddick. Obviously he did fantastic last week getting 2nd place. He was really impressive. He almost got lapped a couple times earlier on that race, and his team and his crew chief were able to make adjustments, and then he was just incredibly fast, making up, over the course of it seemed like 15 laps, he would make up, 8-10 seconds, on the pack. So he got really fast and really, was able to tune his car in on that track. And I just think that'll help him again going into this week. Custer, in his own right, he was obviously strong all day. I mean, he was a top 10 car all day, and obviously he had a cut tire with 2 to go that, free falled him. I think he ended up finishing 23rd, where, he was top 10. I think when he got that cut tire, he was either in 7th or 8th place. So he would have finished in the top 10, but obviously Tyler Reddick would have beat him because he was a second place finish. If we look at Reddick at the intermediate tracks, he's got a driver rating of 79.1. Cole Custer's was 67.1. He's got 3 top 5s. Cole Custer's only got 1. He's got 7 top 10s. Cole Custer's only got 2. And he's got 13 top 20s, and Cole Custer's only got 10. Custer does have a win, though. But, I give the edge here to Custer. They split their driver rating and average finish at rating. They split in terms of who is better. So it's 1-1 on that. But, I just think Tyler Reddick's going to beat Cole Custer. But, I mean, obviously he's got to beat all the other guys in that group. I just had it narrowed down, to those 2 guys. So give me Tyler Reddick there. For Group 5, I'll go ahead and give it to Ryan Newman. Look, he was strong last week in a 7th place finish. He's got the better driver rating, better average finish at Vegas, and also he's got the better driver rating and average finish at the intermediate tracks of drivers in this group. So give me Ryan Newman. For Group 6, I'll go ahead and give it to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look, in the group, he's got the better numbers at Vegas, and he's also got the better numbers at intermediate tracks within drivers of this group, and he had the best finish last week at Homestead. Again, a similar track to Vegas this weekend, so go ahead and give me Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And for a winner, I'll go ahead and say Joey Logano. I really think the Fords and Team Penske are going to be strong this weekend. I think it's going to be close, actually, between Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, teammates there. But I do think Joey Logano will go ahead and get the victory. They're calling him the defending champion, but obviously Kurt Busch won the fall race. But in terms of the Pennzoil 400, he is the defending champion. I do think he's obviously got a strong pedigree at this track. So I like Joey Logano to go ahead and be the winner. And for a second place finish, I'll go ahead and give it to Kevin Harvick. Look, he's got the best average finish and the rating and the driver rating at intermediate tracks. He's strong at Vegas. I like what Kevin Harvick's doing in terms of at this racetrack and intermediate tracks, and I expect the Fords to be really strong this weekend. So I think Kevin Harvick will go ahead and get him a second place finish this week. All right, let's move it on now to the Fox Bet Super 6 app. This is the one where it really only involves Stage 2. They give you 6 questions. You got to correctly answer all 6 questions to take home that $10,000 prize. If nobody can do it, they'll still give away the $10,000 prize of the group of people that can get the most questions right. We were so close last week, guys. I mean, it was the last turn on the last lap of Stage 2 where William Byron made that pass and ended up getting the victory and taking it away from the Toyotas. So we were the last turn of the last lap of Stage 2 from probably winning, that money last week. So, we're close. Let's jump on into it on this contest and see how we'll do it this week. Which driver is going to lead the most laps at the end of Stage 2? Well, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Kevin Harvick. He starts on the pole. I expect him to be really strong this weekend. So, starts on the pole. I think he's going to stay out in front long periods of time, and therefore he's going to gather the most laps lead. So, go ahead and give me Kevin Harvick on that one. Question 2 is which manufacturer is going to win Stage 2? I'll go ahead and say Ford. I mean, look, I've kind of been talking about it here on the show. I mean, Stewart-Haas Racing, Team Penske are obviously both Fords. I expect both those teams to be really, really strong this weekend. So, let's get one of those 2 teams to go ahead and win Stage 2 and bring the Ford to victory lane. Question 3 is which driver is going to have the fastest lap at the end of Stage 2? I'll go ahead and say Joey Logano. I mean, I previously just said I've got him winning the race, so I've got him being pretty fast this weekend. I expect the 22 car to have a great showing here at Vegas. So, fastest car on the weekend is going to be number 22. It's going to be Joey Logano. Which driver will gain the most positions in Stage 2? I got to admit, I hate the wording of this question because they say in Stage 2. So what does that mean? Are we literally only factoring Stage 2, or are we taking the whole body of work? Hate how this question is worded. I'm going to go ahead and say Ryan Blaney. He starts 26, so he's got the greatest chance to gain the most positions. Of the other drivers in this group, the next worst starting position is 9th by Bowman. So because of that, Blaney's going to have the greater chance to make some ground and gain some positions. He's with Team Penske, so he's in a Ford. I've already said I think Team Penske is going to have a great weekend here. So so go ahead and give me Ryan Blaney there. And also he had a strong race last weekend at Homestead, right? I mean, he was a really good car. If it wasn't for Eric Almirola, crashing him, or not, he didn't crash him in terms of getting a DNF, but, bumped him and had him get some car damage, and then, obviously sets him back a little bit. So, yeah, if Eric Almirola doesn't do that to him last week, he even had a strong performance last week at a similar track. So, yeah, Ryan Blaney's going to be good this weekend, I think, as well. So, Ryan Blaney for me. And question 5 is how many cars are going to finish Stage 2? Well, in 2024 cars didn't finish in the fall race. 2 didn't finish in the spring race. And in 2019, 1 car didn't finish in the spring race, and 1 car also did not finish in the fall race. I'll go ahead and say 37 to 36. This one's, you need a lot of luck to win this question. Generally, this isn't a race track where you're going to get, big wrecks or multiple car wrecks that are going to take out several cars. So, but I do think you'll always get, maybe the 1 wreck or maybe the 1 mechanical issue. So, 37 to 36 to me. And you notice they made this one harder. Last week we answered it 37 to 35, and we got it right. They've now tightened the windows a little bit on us, so a little bit harder this week, but yeah, I'll still go with 37 to 36. Question 6 is what's going to be the best finishing, or which driver will have the best finishing position at the end of Stage 2? It's going to be the guy that's going to eventually win that race. It's going to be the number 22 car of Joey Logano. He's going to be the best finishing position at the end of Stage 2. All right, guys, that's how we'll do it. For a chance to win $10,000 on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, another $25,000 on the Jackpot Races app. As always, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm trying to be of help to you. That's my goal. If you've got any questions, go ahead and drop a comment. In on this video, kind of let me know what you're thinking, or if you're got a different kind of thinking going on of who you think a couple drivers may be between, by all means, drop a comment, on this video, and I'll kind of give you my insight on maybe helping you make a decision, because that's what I'm here for, is I want you guys to win that $35,000. I'm here to help along the way. All right, enjoy the race at Vegas this weekend at the Pennzoil 400, and we'll see you next week on our NASCAR show. Have a good one. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.